Sorry, got cut off there for a second. So we were talking about what's true about this idea of the generic God. So with the generic God, it's the idea that that basically all religions believe the same thing, and doesn't really matter what you believe as long as you believe something. And that's true that God is universal, and it's possible that it's true that it is possible for people who aren't professed Christians to be saved. The idea that somebody who wasn't really ever exposed to the Christian message, but really honestly sought God and the truth in their heart, could be saved by God even if they don't know that they were being saved by God. They could be a Christian in spirit even if they weren't a Christian in name. Just like someone who could be a Christian in name but not a Christian in spirit. And we have this idea that there's a natural law throughout all human nature that doesn't just, that tells all humans kind of through their conscience that they have certain ways that they should act in terms of good and bad. And if you look at every society in the history of the world, they're always going to have laws about killing and violence and who you're allowed to kill and hurt and who you're not allowed to kill and hurt. Laws about property and who's allowed to have what and who's allowed to take what and who's not. Laws about sex and family and who's allowed to be with whom and who's not allowed to be with whom and that sort of thing. And those laws tend to be pretty similar across human society. There's some differences, but they're not polar opposites. There's certain common themes running throughout. And so we do see great commonalities in the morality of Buddhism and Islam and Christianity and Taoism. There's a lot of common threads running through that. So that's true. As the Catholic Church said at Vatican II, there are seeds of truth in all religions. So we don't have to think as Catholics that every other religion is totally 100% wrong. No, we can say, well, yeah, Muslims believe in one all-powerful, all-knowing God. We believe in that too. Yeah, Jews believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We believe in that too. Buddhists believe in a certain amount of self-denial and self-sacrifice and meditation, and those are all things that we believe in too. So there's a lot that we can be on the same page about. Now, what's missing from this understanding of God is the idea that there really is something special about the Christian view of God, this idea of Trinity, that God is a unity of love of three persons, that God really is love in a real way. What's also missing from this is the idea that there's anything kind of beneficial to Christianity as opposed to being Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist. And as Christians, I think we should believe that there really is something that's more true. There's a more complete truth to what we have than what other religions believe. And if we didn't believe that, why would we believe in Christianity if we didn't believe it was the most true? And we would say that if you're not, yes, it's possible for someone to be saved without being an explicit Christian, but it's much harder, we would say. And even within Christianity, the Catholic Church would say that, yes, it's possible for other Christians to be saved, but it's much harder without the Catholic sacraments and the Catholic community and the Catholic social teaching and that sort of thing. So is this how I see God? Do I think that it really doesn't matter what I believe as long as I believe in generally something? Do I fail to see the differences between religions? Do I just basically think they're all the same? And do I think that the differences between religions don't matter? So those are all things you might want to ask yourself. What do Christians believe about God if they don't believe any of those things? And that's what we'll be studying over the next few lectures, so stay tuned for that in class. But before we end, I want to end with these two questions that I'd like you to write about in your notes. How would believing in these images be bad for someone? And you can just pick one or two to talk about. And which of these images do you think is the most harmful for people to believe in, and why? So those are tricky questions, and those are deep questions. So give yourself some time to think about those and write about those, and I look forward to seeing what you write. Adios.